For me, there's a simple rule in politics. Never, ever be surprised by what happens in politics.
The face of truth is open. The eyes of truth are bright. The lips of truth are ever closed. The head of truth is upright. The breast of truth stands forward. The gaze of truth is straight. Truth has neither fear nor doubt. Truth has patience to wait. The words of truth are touching. The voice of truth is deep. The law of truth is simple. All you sow, you reap. The soul of truth is flaming. The heart of truth is warm. The mind of truth is clear and firm through rain and storm. Facts are only its shadow. Truth stands above all sin. Great be the battle of life. Truth in the end shall win. The image of truth is the cross. Wisdom's message is its rod. The sign of truth is Christ, and the soul of truth is God. Life of truth is eternal. Immortal is its past. Power of truth shall endure. Truth shall hold to the last.
I don't have to tell you things are bad. Everybody knows things are bad. It's a depression. Everybody's out of work or scared of losing their job. The dollar buys a nickel's worth. Banks are going bust. Shopkeepers keep a gun under the counter. Punks are running wild in the street, and there's nobody anywhere who seems to know what to do, and there's no end to it. We know the air is unfit to breathe, and our food is unfit to eat. We sit watching our TVs while some local newscaster tells us that today we had 15 homicides and 63 violent crimes, as if that's the way it's supposed to be. We know things are bad, worse than bad. They're crazy. It's like everything everywhere is going crazy, so we don't go out anymore. We sit in the house, and slowly the world we're living in is getting smaller, and all we say is, please, at least leave us alone in our living room. Let me have my toaster and my TV and my steel-belted radios, and I won't say anything. Just leave us alone. Well, I'm not going to leave you alone. I want you to get mad. I don't want you to protest. I don't want you to riot. I don't want you to write to your congressman because I wouldn't know what to tell you to write. I don't know what to do about the depression and the inflation and the Russians and the crime in the street. All I know is that first, you've got to get mad. You've got to say, I'm a human being. God damn it. My life has value.
Two modes of behavior. When you are in opposition, pressure the government to deliver things quickly. When you're in office, beg for patience. We'll be explaining during the course of our broadcast this afternoon, putting in a defense that turns out to be very weak. And also coming up on our program, as usual, we have a few surprises for you. And I'm sure that you, as the contributor to the broadcast, you'll be part of this when you call at 452-2979, 452-2979. WhatsApp calls and messages 716-2026, 716-2026. Happy Friday to you. My name is Timothy Poleon. We'll be together until 2 o'clock this afternoon with another edition of NewsSpin. And we do appreciate every one of you listening to the broadcast on Power 97.9 FM on TuneIn. You are also on our NewsSpin Facebook page as well as on YouTube. NewsSpin, NEWS, SPIN, SLU, and you could log in to the program. You might be a little offensive, a little troublesome from time to time, a little pesky like a mosquito, but we do appreciate you. Our NewsSpin Facebook question of the day. Simple. What is causing the sky to fall and why? We've gotten lots of responses. Somebody says, I think we all know why, Tim. No need to ask. Some more of your responses. The poor governance of the St. Lucia Labour Party because nothing is running in the country. Tim, the country is bleeding. Another person says, the sky is falling because Philip J. Pierre is the Prime Minister of St. Lucia and is still behaving like he is on the market square campaigning. Sad. Lucians, think for yourselves. Stop letting politicians think for you. I think the person meant on the market steps. Another one says, there is too much hatred in this country. That's why the sky is falling apart. Another comment, I know all countries go through stuff. That's not just stuff that's wrong, so wrong leadership. Jesus help my Lucia. Another comment, the governing party at hand, and that's it. Because of them, the sky is falling. Some of your responses, so many important national issues to discuss. Shaking my head. Another one, Philip JP, I think you need to give up that prime minister place, and that's it. And let's go through at least 2 or 3 more. Philip JP as prime minister is definitely causing the sky to fall with absolutely no clue as to how to govern this country. So the best thing he can do, and he's good at it, is to try his best to ridicule people who do not support his style of leadership. And 2 more. Team ministers not ministering and labor not laboring. So the sky falling. Some of your responses to our NewsSpin Facebook question of the day. What is causing the sky to fall and why? And you're going to be hearing about this very often, me making reference to either the sky has fallen or the sky is falling, depending on what happens in the country. But there's reason for us to be hopeful as far as the efforts of our police officers in St. Lucia. On NewsSpin, and rightly so, when there is need to do that, we are very critical of the police. But when it's time to give them praise, to shower some plaudits on them, we certainly will not spare them that level of praise, because it goes both ways. And the police, they have been they've been performing remarkably okay in terms of arresting a number of people for being possession of firearms. And definitely over the last few days, we've been seeing a trend on the island as far as this is concerned. And we have a press release, which I will be going through right now. It's very long, and it's making reference to some of the gains made by the police over the last few days. And it reads, on Friday, September the 9th, 2022, officers attached to the Groseley Police Station Criminal Investigation Department conducted an operation along with Babonneau and Rodney Bay police stations in Morshe, Groseley. During the operation, Stevenson Charles, a 26-year-old of Lafayette, Morshe, was searched in a small shop at Morshe, Groseley, which resulted in the recovery of 1 black Smith & Wesson .40 pistol and 9.40 rounds of ammunition. Stevenson Charles was arrested and later charged for the illegal possession of firearm and ammunition and escorted to the 1st District Court for bail. He was granted bail in the sum of $20,000 cash or suitable surety on the charge of possession of firearm, and on the charge for ammunition the sum of $10,000, along with travel restrictions and reporting conditions. On Sunday, 11th September 2022, officers attached to the Special Services Unit were conducting mobile patrols in the community of Bocash Castries when they had reason to stop a motor vehicle with 5 occupants in the vehicle. One of the occupants threw a bag out of the window. A search was conducted and a black and silver JA-9 firearm containing 6 rounds of ammunition was recovered. The 5 occupants, namely Sidel Christopher, age 22, of Lacaille Denery; Anassis Stephen, 27, of Bocash Castries; Clevy Andrew, 18, of Bocash Castries; Asana Auguste, 24, of Bocash Castries, and a 15-year-old juvenile. They were arrested and charged for the possession of firearm and ammunition. They were escorted to the 1st District Court and granted bail in the sum of $15,000 on the charge of possession of firearm and possession of ammunition, the sum of $6,000, along with travel restrictions and reporting conditions. The juvenile in this matter was released to the care and protection of his parents. And on Thursday, 8th of September 2022, officers attached to the Special Services Unit, Drug Unit, Bicycle Control, Criminal Investigations Unit, and the Major Crime Unit conducted an operation in Fouachaud, Castries. During the operation, a house occupied by Sean Phillips and Jenny Charles was searched, and 2 AR-15 rifles were recovered. Also, 3 empty magazines were recovered. Sean Phillips and Jenny Charles were arrested and charged for the possession of firearms. So, news coming from the police with regard to a number of individuals being arrested and charged for being in possession of illegal firearms and ammunition. Still to come on the broadcast. What is this incident which occurred yesterday at one of the island's leading learning institutions? A case of bullying. What will be done by the authorities of the school, the Ministry of Education, and also what are the lessons for the wider St. Lucian society, particularly our students? All that and more coming up on Power 97.9 FM, as well as on YouTube, NewsSpin SLU, our NewsSpin Facebook page, and tune in.
Born from the same soil, growing stronger.
Raised of our own sweat and toil, doing it together.
Our bank for you and me,
Taking us forward so proudly.
First National Bank, the best of who we are. First National Bank, together we'll go far. The pride of St. Lucia, here to stay.
Growing up, growing stronger, it's a First National way.
Every day we're back in better, faster and smarter, convenience like no other.
First National Bank,
The best of who we are. First National Bank, together we'll go far.
we'll go far. For decades, every day, it's clear, it's true.
First National Bank, we're here for you.
Contact Luselect before trimming or cutting down trees that are near overhead electrical wires. Watch out for power lines before you begin working on a ladder. Be sure that ladders or scaffolds are far enough away so that you and the ends of the tools you're using don't come within 10 feet of power lines. And never use any electrical appliance in wet surrounding outdoors or in the rain.
This message is brought to you by Luselect, the power of caring.
Bundle, yeah. Bundle, floor. Bundle, save. Tap up, yeah. Tap up, mad. Tap up. Look at the place covered. Browse all you want. Post all you want.
Win big with Flow! Tickets to the biggest shows, waterpark passes, costumes, over $20,000 in cash, data, and more! Activate a 3, 7, or 30-day combo plan. Pay up your bill, switch to Flow, bundle up your chance to win every day!
Bundle, yeah. Bundle, save. Tap up, yeah. Tap up, mad. Tap up. Look at the place covered. Browse all you want. Post all you want. Look at the place covered. Do what you want. Watch all you want.
Bundle now and get a smartphone for only $99! Switch now!
Exceeding your expectations is what we strive for at Lazarus Funeral Home. Losing a loved one isn't something you can foresee. Since the beginning, affordability has been one of our priorities. Every day we're proving that burials don't have to be expensive. If cost is a factor in your time of bereavement, call Lazarus Funeral Home. We have coffins starting at $800 plus taxes. Nothing can cause more disappointment than poor quality. Help us help you keep your last memory of your loved one sacred. Make it special. Make it Lazarus Funeral Home, your friend in a time of need. Located at Bibliotheque Castries at 452-7491 and New Dock Road V4 at 454-6555.
An embarrassing incident occurred yesterday at one of our island's prestigious learning institutions. And certainly it has caused many people a lot of a lot of pain, a lot of trauma, anxiety. People are very much concerned. A lot of people are embarrassed, particularly if you attended that particular learning institution. Not that things of that nature do not happen at other schools, but you see this learning institution as outstanding, reputable, producing so many illustrious sons, 2 Nobel laureates, you name it. But that's a fact of life. Those things happen in every society. But it's just that in the case of a school of that nature, automatically a number of people will be alarmed. Very disturbing, let me warn you. Many of you would have seen it before, but it's a video of a confrontation between 2 individuals. I don't even know if it's a confrontation, don't know how to describe it, but let's just play the clip now. Those of you watching on Facebook will try to make sense out of it. So apparently one guy spat another individual, another male. I think there's from the senior form. And the response was one guy then cuffed one of the individuals in the face and then followed by a slap. But the guy sat there, the one who was on the receiving end sat there very calm, and he was not retaliating. So later, from the aggressor, we got this, an apology of sorts.
I am a student from St. Mary's College who was recently captured in a viral video. I would like to apologize to the other party in the incident, my school, and to my parents for demonstrating bad representation to myself in the reaction that I gave to the incident, as I was not raised as shown in the video.
All right, joining the broadcast now is Janie Fannis, and she is the Public Relations Officer of the Student Branch of the National Youth Council. Good afternoon, Ms. Fannis. Thank you so much for joining us on NewsSpin.
Good afternoon. Thank you for having me.
Okay, ma'am. What is your take as far as what you know about the incident which occurred at SMC yesterday? Your view of what you saw.
Well, I would just like to make it clear firstly that the National Student Council does not condone violence. We do not have all the details of what happened during that incident, so I cannot give a comprehensive view of what happened, but
Hello?
sorry. Yes, so I cannot give exact statement of our view because we do not have all the details, but we are very saddened to see these incidents of violence in schools among our young boys. It saddens us.
What do you think can be done to remedy that problem, to address it? Because people are saying that those things do happen at learning institutions on the island. But what measures can we employ, can we use to bring them under some level of control?
Well, I think it must be noted that we should not just jump to figuring out how we should punish the children. It's obviously there are underlying issues affecting students in our wider society as well. So I feel like we need to get to the root cause of those issues. Maybe the child has something going on at home. We really do not know what happened. So I feel like governmental agencies, through the counseling units at schools, should put together programs that really contribute to the prevention of bullying and anger management, especially with boys. Through counseling units, these programs.
But do you believe that enough counseling takes place in our schools right now? Hello?
It could be improved, honestly, not to diminish the work of our counselors, but there's always room for improvement.
As far as you're concerned, from your perspective, from the National Youth Council, what role will you all play in terms of tackling that particular issue of bullying and also violence in the nation's schools. Is there any set program that you'll have planned?
Well, this is something that the National Student Council is currently discussing and will continue to discuss. We don't have a set plan yet, but we are still in the discussion. We do want to push these programs, as I said, with the counseling unit, really avoiding just going straight to punishment and trying to see how we can solve problems and prevent these things from happening in the first place.
Okay, but can you consider this to be an isolated incident, or is something that is commonplace in our schools as far as you are aware? Is it occurring often?
It's not something that's only current in our schools, it's current in our society. We've been seeing lots of gang violence lately, so yeah, it is something that we need to deal with on a societal level, not only in our schools.
Okay, so a couple more questions. What is the message you have for fellow students on the island?
I'm calling on the students of the island to go through the acronym THINK. Think before you act. Try to figure out some way that you can resolve the conflict that doesn't necessarily involve violence. I know that sometimes it may be a gut reaction, but just take some time to think before you lay your hand on somebody else's child.
And what is the message you think for adults? Because apparently a lot of adults are not setting the right example for our young people.
Well, I think the adults really need to step up because, it's setting a really bad example for the students.
Okay, and finally, how do you think the Ministry of Education, how do you think the authorities to deal with that particular incident? Because I've heard in some cases people are saying, well, the students should, at the center of this, should be punished. Other people are calling for the children to receive counseling. In your opinion, how do you think it should be settled, addressed?
I feel like the Ministry of Education should put more policies in place, like I said, working on prevention of these issues rather than figuring out how they're going to deal with them. Really invest in, like I said, the counseling programs with the students, more activities for young people, engaging the young people. Also, during the counseling activities, healthy management of emotions, how they can, as I said, go through the THINK acronym, think before they act.
Okay.
Stuff like that.
Thank you so much for speaking with us on NewsSpin, ma'am.
Thank you.
All right, thank you so much. You just heard there from Jani Fanis, who is the Public Relations Officer of the Student Branch of the National Youth Council. Let's take your calls right now at 452-2979. 452-2979. WhatsApp calls and messages 716-2026. Good afternoon. You are on the air.
Tim, today's my lucky day.
You're the first caller.
Yes.
You're the opening batsman.
Opening batsman. Tim, that lady is exemplary. What is her name?
Her name is Jani Fanis. She's the daughter of Bernard Fanis.
Oh. Tim, that lady is exemplary. And the reason I could hardly wait to get on the line and pray that I was the first to call you was to give her a pat on the back.
Mm-hmm.
I am wondering, everything she said there was like an expert. I wonder where she did her training, or if it is because of her home life.
No, she's a student. And by the way, I failed to say that her mom is Natalie Fanis. So she's a student. You don't know Bernard Fanis, the journalist?
Well, you mean Mrs. Bernard Fanis?
Mrs. Bernard Fanis, yes.
You make her sound like a cousin or something.
No. Mrs. Bernard Fanis. Sorry about that.
Yeah.
Natalie.
Wow. Considering what I heard yesterday, that was so pathetic. All the exchanges were pathetic. You know, to hear this lady, and you could hear her chuckle before she answered some of your questions, which signaled a lot to me because I'm listening to her. You know, her voice never raised. She chuckled here and there, almost as if, Tim, the answer to that. And that shouldn't be put to me.
No, don't read too much into that. Could be for a number of reasons. Don't read too much into that, Rick. Don't play Gade on your spin.
But that's what you all did yesterday. That's what you all were doing yesterday.
Don't play Gade.
Mine, at least, I give you the opposite. I said it could be.
Right.
That's why I asked you who her parents were. I asked you, first of all, what her training, because I wanted to set up before I started talking to you.
Yeah, she's a student.
And I noted when she chuckled, you know, like when you're asking her what message are you going to send to the grownups in the country. Come on, you know. But I thought she was, you know, that kind of question. She kind of chuckled and she gave you an answer anyway, and she was not rude and she was not that thing. Compare that to what yesterday passed for an exchange. Now, the young boy, and she insisted, because you asked her the question in more than once in a different way about this quote-unquote bully. Do you think that was the best thing? First of all, I should ask, who required the boy to get this young man to get on the news?
Who required him?
Yeah.
Because what do you?
Did the school make him do that? Did his parents make him do that?
I called the authorities. I called some sources, but they were just not prepared to speak on it because so many people are meeting at this time
So how did
on
you
that
get
incident.
him?
No, because I imagine somebody would have asked him to do it. I don't know whether it was his parents or the authorities who asked him. No, I don't know who asked him to do it.
No. Are you speculating?
No, I'm just telling you I don't know. I don't know if he did it on his own volition. I don't know.
I'm just telling you.
Yeah.
You a little bit. But you know, Tim, I'm not an expert, but I'm talking as a layman. And based on what the lady said about the punishment already being meted out and so on, that boy has a problem, Tim. Young boys, young kids do not beat on each other, etc. The boy has a problem, and I think it's so sad that he should be exposed now. It's bad enough that you saw what happened in the school, and that's everywhere on social media. When in fact it really is a reflection of our times, you know, in St. Lucia. All you have to do is turn in on TV when Parliament is on and see.
That's why I asked Miss Fannis, you know, what she has to say to the adults in our country.
In that spot, because you know it like I do.
Yeah.
I wanted to spare her that. I don't think I'm criticizing you. I mean, that's what the kids see. Conflict resolution is not even talked about anymore in this country, Tim. And people use and abuse the system so you can get away with, you know, I am in the position of power, therefore I can do what the hell I want, and all that kind of stuff. The matter of mediation, you know, all of those things. What do you think of mediation, Tim? What do you think of that as a concept?
There's a place for it in our society, but nonetheless, it ought not to be abused. It ought not to be used to settle certain things.
Do you think that it should go to mediation when a member of Parliament, an elected member of the House, has a matter that is of public interest, even in a civil court, that should go to mediation, or should that be dealt with?
I don't think it should apply in this particular case. I don't think it should apply, because I said, I think from last year, I was speaking on this issue, that in the court of public opinion, as far as the public is concerned, this thing has not been settled. When you take it to mediation, I don't think mediation should be dealing with issues of that nature involving state officials, involving matters relating to the customs department. I mean, if you have two young people, especially two females or two males, you know, in some kind of exchange, and they're assaulted, etc., then, I mean, you bring the parties together and, you know, there's some form of mediation can take place.
Well, Tim, I don't even know where to begin. I don't want to dwell on the boy, because I think that is, I would like to
It's very sad. It's very sad.
I would like to know why that kid found himself in the news. That bothers me a bit. And we have to be very, very careful that school problems, first and foremost, should be dealt with by the schools. And they should come outside only when everything else within the school system has failed. So
but you see now with Rick, with social media, and again we have to focus on the bystanders, those people who are spectators, the students were there watching, and basically they were entertaining themselves. Okay?
It's still a school problem, Tim.
You have to address this.
The fact that you have a bunch of, what you address is the school system. You have no control on social media. I grant you that.
Yeah.
But we have control in terms of who we want to talk to, and not make the whole social media
don't legitimize it.
I almost use some S word. Social media is for scumbags to express themselves as scumbags anonymously. That does not mean that from time to time you don't have a decent discussion going on. But you know very well in the main, social media is you. Then, you know, tying in with all that happened yesterday or whatever. Tim, you see what's happening on our leaders, the parties, what they call each other, how they address each other. It is the norm. Now, I am not a politically correct guy. Everybody knows that. But the fact I'm not a politically correct guy, or that I might call somebody something, I said something to you years ago. I keep bringing it up, and I apologize for it. And maybe that's why I'm paying with my back today. Okay.
Water under the bridge.
But it is important. It's not water under the bridge at all. I did it. I don't think it was called for on reflection. Like, there are a number of things I did that was stupid, like perhaps being involved in the days of banana cutting and encouraging the politicians to get the guys not to cut in protest. All that thing was stupid. I should have learned. I should have known. I should have been perspicacious enough to know you can't strike against yourself. All that kind of stuff. But I am around at this time, 200 years old. Maybe that's the purpose I am around at this age with my faculties pretty sharp, very sharp still. So it's sad that that young man, apart from the social media crap, should have him already confessing and apologizing and everything, when in fact it's probably, quote unquote, not his fault. He is surrounded. All the leading people, leading figures in the country are taking the country down the sewer, and people excusing that behavior. It is becoming normal official behavior to behave like pigs on both sides of the political fence. It is becoming normal behavior, accepted behavior, to see our leaders on both sides of the fence acting like pigs. So impressionable kids who already have little cracks depending on the homes they go on with are naturally going to reflect what passes for normalcy in the country. So I liked it when her answer to you on the counselors. What do you think of the counselors? That's a rough question, but it shows. Bernard, congratulations, man, for this lady to say to you.
Bernard and Natalie Fannis.
Well, I don't know Natalie, sad to say, but
no, you know
the
Natalie.
Fannis family,
yeah.
The Fannis family, and Bernard is a guy by now should have had a top award for a number of things in this country. His journalism, his philanthropic things he does, and all that, and a very nice guy. Most people don't even know who he is, and yet he's so active in a lot of things. That's what we don't pay attention to. Bernard Fannis, Pete Ninval, these people should have been recognized a long time, and they don't. You don't know what political side these guys stand on, and yet they're involved with everything. So I want to congratulate the family. I want to congratulate the lady, the young student. I like the way she answered your questions, which some of them were bouncers, you know, and she was very careful, and I'll do it for her. She was very careful not to say anything pejorative about the council thing. But you know, in St. Lucia, my experience is one counselor fits all, Tim.
Yeah.
No specialist.
Thank you so much, Rick. Let's continue with your calls at 452-2979, 452-2979. WhatsApp calls and messages 716-2026, 716-2026. We have a WhatsApp call as we say hello and good afternoon to you. This is NewsSpin. You are on the air. Hello.
Yes, sir. Good afternoon.
Hi, good afternoon, caller.
Let me ask you, next page. Have you ever been to the St. Jude's construction site?
No, sir, I haven't. I've driven along that road there, but I have not entered the premises.
Do you have a drone?
No, I don't have, sir.
Okay, well, let me tell you. I need you to do that for me, please. Do it for the nation. Please. Take a little drive down, and if you can get somebody who has a drone, go with them. Take a little drive down to the St. Jude's site. And I want you to come back to the people and say to us what you saw and what you think. Please. Tim, I was there earlier today, and I can tell you I really don't see where this government is going. Not because I'm supporting the other side, but even if I was supporting Labour, I would have still been in favor of completing the new structure that was built. You understand? If you go down that team, you will understand what I'm saying, and you will understand what everybody else is saying. Also, when you're passing back, have the person to use the drone over the, well, then the airport people might not allow you, but try to do it in a way that you don't get in the lines of the airplanes. Stay on the Larishu side so that you could see what work was done there. And then you will understand the amount of wastage, the amount of money that we want to waste after you've done so much and you just want to pack it on the side and go and do something else. And so, Tim, if I was somebody that was emotional, I would have cried this morning. Wow. You understand? Because I cannot believe a government will tell you that you will leave that brand new place that you can use to turn it into whichever design that you want, because you have no walls inside. What you have is the fabricated thing that you can use to design inside how you want. And you want to leave that and to go back to the place. Tim, I would not make the old St. Jude's my home. I'm telling you honestly, I will not make it my home. Because when I look at it, that is pure rubbish as far as I'm concerned. You cannot pass that as a hospital. So please, when you get a time over the weekend, whenever, take a little drive down.
All right, sir.
Thank you.
All right, I'll have to try to enlist the services of somebody who has a drone, and if he or she agrees, we'll embark about this. We have a call. NewsSpin, good afternoon. You on the air? Hello, good afternoon to you, caller.
Good afternoon, Tim.
Yes, sir. Good afternoon to you.
Tim, I was about Junior Creole today.
Go ahead.
Tim, do you think that government having Junior Creole in caste system? Come on, Tim.
Caller.
That government was Junior Creole.
Who knows? It might not be an issue. Caller, it might not be an issue with the government. It might be an issue with the Monsignor Patrick Anthony Folk Research Center.
Well, I have a problem with that, Tim.
Mm-hmm. Why?
Junior Creole, they're getting bamboo bursting, they're getting all kind of animals getting killed.
So it can happen in Castries?
Fire, burning in song, in Junior Creole. And
no, caller, you put the logistics in place. You have the St. Lucia Fire Service, you have the police, would put law and order, would put various arrangements, to ensure that no laws are broken.
Tim, come on, Tim. Junior Creole making no sense in Castries, Tim.
Okay.
Junior Creole making no kind of sense in Castries. To me, we are kind of in Castries recently, where I'm going to problem with that. But Junior Creole in Castries, Tim, Junior Creole in country is a better place for that, not in Castries. Thank you.
All right. Thank you so much. We have a WhatsApp call as we say hello and good afternoon to you. This is NewsSpin. You are on the air. Thank you so much for calling. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon, Mr. Timothy.
Poleon. Good
How
afternoon.
Are you, sir?
I'm okay, caller. Good afternoon to you.
How you doing?
I'm okay. Try to soften me before you land the blow, huh? Go ahead. You're trying to soften me before you land the blow. Go ahead, I'm listening.
I ain't landing no blow. I just going through the motions with you. Let me ask you something. The gentleman that just called you there about the hospital and the airport, what are his expertise and what are his credentials?
What's yours to ask that question of him?
No.
What is yours? What is yours to ask that question of him?
I would like him to call you and tell you what field does he deal in, and from a drone can he make that assessment. It's okay for anybody to express their opinion, but your opinion is not a fact. It can always be questioned.
But it's an opinion. It's an opinion.
That's correct.
But I think you're wrong to ask him that question based on what? Some expertise that he has. Because people call on this program, they speak about law and they are not lawyers. They speak about health, they are not medical personnel. They're not trained in that area. Okay? So, and you two want to question him. You, as far as I know, you're not an engineer. All right? So why are you asking that question of him? If you want to be critical, of the guy, be critical. There's nothing wrong in that.
If you listen to him carefully, he made the point that he does not want anything to happen on the other side, and he wants it to happen in the new building. But then he did not explain or give us the engineering and structural advised as to why it should happen.
Well, give it to us.
So I have no.
But give it to
I'm
us.
not giving anybody anything.
But you have it. You're an engineer.
I have never said I'm an engineer. I've never said I'm expert in building anything. What I've consistently said on your station and on your programs, that anything that I say to you, it is factual and cannot be questioned.
Yeah, but we have not achieved anything, Akola, in that 2 or 3 minutes we've been discussing that whole issue there. We have not achieved anything.
You see what happens when you cut me off and you allow these people
No,
to
you see, you're talking about cut you off, but you're right there. You're right there.
interrupt me and you interrupt me after every sentence. How do you expect to get any contribution that will make any sense?
But you started on the wrong premise, you know.
So let's go. You ready for me now?
Go ahead.
I recall a couple weeks ago, you made a point that the Prime Minister and ministers of government in St. Lucia should not make reference to other islands when it comes to economics, finance, health, and education. Do you recall?
That is not what I said, Connor. That's not what I said. I said that what they like to do is to use those examples and come up with all kind of excuses, particularly when there's something in common with St. Lucia. So, if crime is on the increase in Jamaica and Barbados, Trinidad, etc., it's on the increase in St. Lucia, they see that's a reason why they should lump all those countries together and say, you see, it's happening in the other countries as well. Come up with the excuses. That's what I said.
Is that something called compare and contrast? When you're doing
You can do it.
your surveys?
You can do it conveniently. Because if, for example, there have been instances where Jamaica, Barbados, Trinidad, etc., they've been doing very well economically, and we have been failing, and we say, boy, there are certain mitigating factors, there are certain circumstances that would have resulted in us not performing like a Jamaica, like a Barbados, etc., because it suits us to come up with that argument. It has happened before.
My dear brother, anytime you are going to assess anything, you have to compare and contrast.
But you can do it conveniently too, especially when you're dealing with statistics. You know that, when you're dealing with stats. You can do it.
Of course, yes. You saw Mr. Chasney do it when he said that he representing 70% of the people because only 40% voted. That's a way of playing with numbers.
Yeah.
That's a way of playing with numbers. But the point I want to make, let's move on one step further. That PW of yours, that PW, I don't understand the gentleman. Yesterday, he came on your program, or day before, whatever day, and he lambasted somebody for blowing their own trumpet.
Who's that? Shazi. Just say Shazi. He lambasted Shazi.
I don't know who he was lambasting.
But you know, don't pretend. Shazi.
I don't know who he was lambasting, but let's go one step further.
That's a fact guy.
Yet still, he also wants Mr. Hunt to come and blow his own trumpet. But he ain't blowing his own trumpet, you know, that PW. He ain't blowing his own trumpet. He needs to tell us, what has he done for St. Lucia? No, I seriously want him to tell us.
That's very childish of you, because if you because you're being childish, okay? Because then now you come and tell me what you've done for St. Lucia, and you have earned the right to criticize other people. So if somebody quote unquote has not done anything for St. Lucia, then they should not be critical of the government. Okay, and you cannot determine whether somebody should be critical of the government on that basis alone. I believe all of us as citizens of this country, we have earned the right to be critical of any government. Okay?
Well, listen to me. There's a time when I criticize government.
So you see why I don't like to engage you and have long discussions with you, because we achieve nothing. We achieve nothing. You want to take this right away from the guy by asking him what has he done for St. Lucia.
But he took the right out. He took the right out of the guy he lambasted yesterday, and he took the right out of the other guy, asking him, "Come on the radio and tell me what you have done for St. Lucia." But yet still he will not tell us what he has done.
Because he was critical of the two guys, what they have done, because they were serving in official capacities, you know. They were being paid by the taxpayers. The two individuals you make reference to. You're saying, what have you done in your capacity, because you're given appointments by governments of the SLP, serving as consultant in this area, serving as in the consulate over in Martinique. The taxpayers were paying you. You must account. And it was not wrong. You must account. But your retort is, tell me, what has he done for St. Lucia?
But the guy accounted for what he has done, and yet still, he wasn't satisfied. He said the guy blowed his own trumpet. Didn't he say that?
The fact you say that you have done this and you have done that, all politicians do that, eh? I did this and I did that and I should be re-elected into office. Sometimes amounts to nothing, just words.
Timothy, today's Friday, boy. Today's Friday. I out of tongue anyway. I out of tongue.
Okay.
That's why you have me one month there. Or you trying to have me one month. Put it that way.
You have some
But I want to tell you
you're taking care of some work. You have some contracts. But good luck for you. Happy.
I don't have a penny contract. I'm a happy retired man.
All right.
I'm a happy retired man. That's all I can tell you right now.
Appreciate your contribution, sir. That's it? All right. Thank you so much. I think we have another WhatsApp call. Let's go to that call right now as we say hello and good afternoon to you. This is NewsSpin. You are on the air.
Good afternoon, Tim.
Good afternoon to you, ma'am.
I would like to thank the government of Indonesia for actually putting the Creole activities of Creole month back on the agenda. I think it was long overdue, and I think many Indonesians missed it. But what I am totally disappointed with is the one location, which is Castries, for hosting Journée Creole
But you have Castries
on
and
the last
Choiseul.
Sunday in October.
You have Castries and Choiseul.
Yeah, well, I'm okay with Choiseul, but Castries, because Choiseul is a huge part of our culture and what we normally do during Journée Creole. Carnival, we just celebrated it, centralized in Castries. We have so many activities that go on in Castries. Why not live Journée Creole for those outskirts communities that actually perform those activities that we usually celebrate or we usually want to see come back to fruition, especially for the younger generation, to see what it used to be like back in the days. You think I want to come to Castries to eat chicken, barbecue chicken and fries and pizza and balloons and clowns everywhere? I want to go to the outskirts of St. Lucia or in the inside country of St. Lucia to enjoy Journée Creole and not Castries. I think that's a huge mistake that whoever is in authority was responsible for making that decision made. And to have only 2 locations, is it that the other communities did not answer to host Journée Creole? Maybe something was said and I missed it, but I am yet to understand the reason for putting Journée Creole, a Creole heritage that we all enjoy in the country. Coals are made in Castries. You ever see coals made in Castries? They used to come and sell coals.
People have their
to
cold
put on
bit,
their
yeah,
ships to
they do.
ship out. Right?
Mm-hmm.
What they're going to do, bring the tree trunks in Castries to show how they used to saw wood back in the day. You can't do that in Castries. Why host it in Castries? So everyone has to travel to Choiseul because I'm sure you will have seen, may or may not have seen, the video that has been going around asking Aunt Lorraine and Miku in the video saying, who going to leave to go? I going to leave to go up to Castries for Journée Creole? And you hear gunshots blowing everywhere. And they're asking, hey, y'all but in bamboo already? But it wasn't actual bamboo. You know? And I think it's there is still an opportunity for us to change that. But having Journée Creole in Castries, for me and many other St. Lucians, is a total no-no. So you have a huge crowd down in Choiseul where it could have been spread across other communities.
Where are you calling from, caller? Where are you calling from?
I'm calling from Moshi.
Moshi, okay. So you'll not come to Castries, you'll go to Choiseul instead, right?
I will definitely go to Choiseul.
Okay.
Castries for me is not where I know culture and country living, because this is what Journée Creole is. Journée Creole is not about modernization and what Castries offered to two persons coming from Soufre or coming from Debara. They're coming to see modernization in Castries. But go back to the country to see how we used to live before. You know? Big toilets and the vases and the washing by the river. Which river? Marsha? Which river? Nah. Bad choice.
Okay.
One of many bad choices by the governmental minister.
Okay, ma'am.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you so much for calling. All right, which river? Marshall? We'll continue the broadcast in just a moment with more of your calls and your WhatsApp messages. Somebody's putting in a defense. They did work. All that and more coming up on our NewsSpin Facebook page as well as on YouTube, NewsSpin SLU and Power 97.9 FM.
Lazarus's Funeral Home is here for you. Lazarus's Private Cemetery offers a peaceful resting place for your loved ones. With tranquil settings, visitation, and reflection, we believe in the compassionate care of all our departed loved ones. Lazarus's Private Cemetery, let us help you create a final resting place. Make it special. Make it Lazarus's Funeral Home, your friend in a time of need. Payment plans are available for tombs. Call us in Vidbute at 452-7491 or in New Dock Road, VA4, 454-6555.
Night Meds is your dependable neighborhood pharmacy. You'll notice that upon entry, you are greeted by caring professional staff, attentive to your every need. Your prescriptions are always treated with a high degree of confidentiality, and we pride ourselves on providing speedy, efficient service. We carry a wide array commonly requested over-the-counter products, and our prices are very competitive. We offer blood pressure testing, blood sugar, and cholesterol testing. We're open to fill your prescriptions Monday to Saturday from 8 a.m. to 8 p.m. Come visit Sadu's gas station on the Miku Highway or call us at 572-6840 or WhatsApp 461-6840 for more information. Night Meds Pharmacy. We are your community med store.
Lucilec aveti ou pour point précaution durant saison cyclone Salah. Mi an ti commission qui kaywen de ou protéger la vie ou ek propriétaire ou. Kouye Lucilec avant ou trim et ben couper pied bois qui pouet ligne électrique. Veillez pour ligne courant électrique avant ou monter l'échelle. Fait assurer l'échelle, scaffold et bout d'outil ou ka servi pas vini moins qui 10 pieds hors ligne courant électrique. Pas jamais servi appliance et ben outils qui ka servi courant électrique. Des wall côté qui mouillé et ben en la pli. Ça c'était en commission hors Lucilec.
We heard you, and now we are answering. Elks City of Castries Cooperative Credit Union is happy to offer you, our valued customers, the most amazing deal to own your piece of St. Lucia. From now until December 31st, enjoy an interest rate of 4.5% with a deposit of 5% to help you purchase house and land only, or put up a structure on your existing property. And it gets better. Legal fees are included in your mortgage. Call us at 452-6820 or 453-2951 or email us at info@elkscreditunion.com. Terms and conditions apply. Elks City of Castries Cooperative Credit Union, building a stronger community, one member at a time.
Somebody all the way in Canada sent me a WhatsApp message. The crying meme. So the person says, Lucians ain't easy. Which river, Tim? LOL. Let's continue with your calls at 452-2979, 452-2979. WhatsApp calls and messages 716-2026. Good afternoon, you're on the air.
Good afternoon, Tim.
Hi, good afternoon to you, caller.
I must say our minister, they criticize him for the carnival. So that was one of the worst things that we could ever do, is to have the carnival festival taking place. He go ahead with it, and a lot of people benefited from that. The Creole in Castries, it will be a combined Creole team. As far as I look at it, maybe this is the first of a kind in Central. Everybody, we're looking at the most, instead of putting something positive towards the team, we're looking at you know, there'll be gunshots. But I believe on...
Caller, for a moment there, are you from the Folk Research Center? Are you?
No, I am.
No?
I'm a St. Lucian team. I'm a
Oh,
St.
St.
Lucian
Lucian.
team.
Okay.
I'm a St. Lucian, born St. Lucian.
I thought you were from the the Monsignor Patrick Anthony Folk Research Center.
No, but team, I love St. Lucia team. It's all about St. Lucia instead of going on the negative path.
It's not caller. It's not about negative and positive. Making an observation, and there could be some valid reasons that were highlighted in her contribution, caller.
But I look at
it's not about being negative.
Because one of them said that there will be gunshots on that day. Why you think why bring in that? You know why you think that that is what we want to wish for.
It's not a wish, caller. It's about possibilities. It's not a wishing. It's about possibilities.
No possibility there will be gunshots on that day, Tim.
There's none.
No possibility. No. If it comes, Tim, because we used let's look at the bamboo on that day, Tim. Let's look at the bamboo, the popcorn, and the different things. So let's look at the next full show.
Caller, you just made up. You just call and you made up your mind. You'll defend. And you take the lady to task because of what she's saying there.
I know, Tim. I'm looking at boy. That is a great thing, Tim. For we, first time, we're going to have junior creole incarcerated, Tim. What can we bring to the table different from the other communities? Bring up the lanterns and so on. Like we used to have flambeaus when Castries just started.
No, I don't think you'll want flambeaus there. You won't want that. You'll want stars.
No, we could come up with the flowers, we could come up with the power. There's a lot of things, Tim, that we, there should be a combined creole, where we have all the different, like, Moshi, Babu, come down into Castries, Bexo, come down, bring their own, and the people of Central, because a lot of people from Castries are from the outside district,
Yeah.
from and so we need to work with what the cultural department put out on the table and try to make it one of the best Creole that we ever have. Yeah, and Tim, and it will be done, Tim. It will be done. Trust me, Tim. I will make sure that, Tim, it will be one of the best, Tim.
Okay.
And there will be no gunshots, Tim.
All right. Thank you so much for calling. Somebody says in the chat room, Dr. Freezer's food for Journée Creole. Let's see if we have some more of your discussions in the chat room. What is somebody saying there? Okay, we have a call. Good afternoon to you. This is NewsSpin, you on the air. Somebody says there, my family is from Choselle, but I would like to see the activity hosted in places like the Valley. Good afternoon.
Tim,
Yeah.
Tim, you know where they are in Creole? By Bonnie side. And you know that that's a big flood. If that day rain and a spring fall in that area there by Bonnie side there, it's a swimming pool people in there. That's the thing,
All right, thank you so much. 452-2979. We have a WhatsApp call. Let me go to that contribution right now as we say hello. Good afternoon. This is NewsSpin. You on the air? Yes, good afternoon to you, caller.
Yes, I just want to make a contribution as it relates to this incident in the school.
Yes, sir.
I think it's very sad the way our boys get on, the way they resolve the conflict. But I think it is equally bad listening to your very first caller taking this thing to the House of Parliament. I think that is passing the buck.
What is bad about it? No, but those people in Parliament, they're setting the example. They're setting the example for the rest of the nation.
I tell you what, these young men, sometimes some of them may never even know what is transpiring at the House of Parliament. They may not even be watching it. But let's take this thing home. How do parents react?
Let's look at it from hold on, caller. Hold on. Let's look at it from Parliament. Let's look at it in the wider society. Let's look at it from the perspective of Parliament, the wider society, likewise the home.
I'll get there, Tim. I'll get there. But my point is, a lot of these things are reflections of what happened at home. How do parents resolve their conflicts? How the wife and a husband resolve
but
their
again,
conflict
I'm
in
telling
the
you,
presence
caller.
of their children?
I'm
How do they deal with their children? Are they always shouting at these children?
But the politicians are doing it, caller.
How do they relate to these children? How do they
Caller.
correct these children? Is it with aggression?
Caller.
Do they correct these children in a way to bring them up?
But don't you see the behavior?
It will translate to our leaders. Our leaders have a more responsibility towards the public, and the way they behave in the House of Parliament, yes, will send a bad signal. But I think a lot of these problems have their roots at home, which is the core of society. Society is built on the home, and that in itself has disintegrated so badly that what is happening at home will definitely translate to the school and on the street. So our boys may not be able to deal with the conflicts in an amicable way because that's what they see at home.
No, but caller, they are role models in every part of the society, not only at home, in the school. Hold on, caller. Hold on. All right, caller. No, we're not going anywhere with that particular discussion because I think we have to look at the whole issue holistically. We have role models in the church. When a pastor or a priest misbehaves, acts in a very unruly manner, what kind of example do you think that they're sending out to the flock, to the wider society? Likewise, our police officers. Likewise, our politicians who are our leaders who should be setting the example. And also, likewise, our family in the home. You cannot look at it in isolation, only the home. You have different sectors, different areas in the society that is setting bad example. Our politicians, family members, members of the clergy, lawyers, doctors, you name it, teachers. Good afternoon, this is NewsSpin. You are on the air. Thanks for holding on.
A pleasant good afternoon to you, Timothy. And pleasant good afternoon to our international visit, actually listeners all over the world.
Good afternoon, caller.
Yes, and also welcome to the Banana Republic of St. Lucia, Timothy. And also I'd like to send special greetings to the Republic of Labrie. That's what I would like. But Timothy, listen to this. Last night I was thinking about St. Jude. And I asked my 10-year-old daughter from the Dame Paulette Louise School a question. What would she like the Prime Minister of St. Lucia, Philip J. Pierre, to come to tell St. Lucians concerning the St. Jude Hospital? And guess what? She gave me something for Philip J. Pierre. Timothy, do you have the state anthem there? Do you have the state anthem, a recording of the state anthem?
No, I don't. Not at my disposal right now.
But let me read what she just said. This is how she wants.
I think you wrote it there. PW, I think you wrote your own stuff.
This is how she wants the Prime Minister. Give me 1 minute. This is how she wants the Prime Minister to address the nation. My fellow St. Lucians, I have seen the need to address you at this point in time. The government of St. Lucia has carried out the feasibility studies, the investigations surrounding our state-of-the-art hospital. We, the government, have failed the citizens of this country for 14 years, and we have not delivered the St. Jude Hospital. We sincerely are sorry about the situation we have found ourselves in this juncture. As of tomorrow, work will begin full steam ahead on the St. Jude Hospital, the state-of-the-art hospital. We plan to complete the hospital in 9 months, and we ask the St. Lucian public to be patient as this construction goes on. My fellow St. Lucians, I thank you. Timothy, what I want to say is this. The St. Lucian Labour Party has a 15-2 majority. I would like them to get on with the job of the St. Jude Hospital, not I want the state-of-the-art hospital. This is what my 10-year-old daughter wrote. She is from the Dimple at Rizzi School. I thank you, Timothy.
Okay, thank you so much. But I don't really believe that your 10-year-old daughter wrote this speech for the Prime Minister of St. Lucia. This is a fabrication. 452-2979, 452-2979, WhatsApp calls and messages. We have a WhatsApp call as we say hello and good afternoon to you. This is NewsSpin. You are on the air.
Hey, Tim.
Good afternoon to you, sir.
Good afternoon. Yeah, when you look at the politicians, they actually sending conflicting messages, because when you look at the behavior of these politicians in public, in churches, things like that, right? When you think there will be some form of discipline, you know, that would be issued out. What happened? They are in place. They are now placed in charge of the church from the political standpoint of the clergy. So they are sending conflicting messages to the young people that bad behavior pays. You know, so we have to look at the bigger picture, not just look at a particular. Just look at the bigger picture, not just one thing. You know, we have to focus on the bigger picture because it does have an impact. Whatever we do as leaders does have an impact on the young people and the country at large. Thank you.
Thank you so much for calling, sir. Somebody else is on the line. Good afternoon. This is NewsSpin. You are on the air. Hello.
Good afternoon, Tim. How are you doing?
I'm okay, caller. Good afternoon to you.
Tim, very good, interesting subject today in regards as it pertains to role models, as it pertains to exemplary behavior. Tim, do you remember what jumps to mind was the incident at the SDA Church in Forest Hill involving the former minister Guy Joseph and Joachim Henry, who is now a government minister. Tim, this is why our society is how it is today. When Joachim Henry went into the church, invaded or disrupted a church service, which, by the way, we all know now, it's against the law to do that. At that time, Tim, leading up to the run-up to the last general elections, what did we see? We saw his party, the St. Lucia Labour Party, condoning, endorsing, supporting such a behavior. So you expect anything different, Tim, insofar as our young people and what they see and hear and their behaviors? No. And like Rick said, people look up to their leaders for leadership. And that's why I keep lamenting the fact that in this country right now in St. Lucia, we have no leadership. So when Joachim Henry did his act, which, by the way, was despicable, his party, the St. Lucia Labour Party, endorsed it. They supported him. They went on social media, on Facebook, supporting that such a despicable behavior. So what do you expect him and St. Lucia, our young people, to do? What kind of behaviors do we expect our young people to exhibit? They follow what's in Parliament. When you have members of Parliament behaving like some of them like hooligans, do you expect anything different from our young people? No. When you have a prime minister who go into a town hall meeting on last Tuesday and insult people in the most demeaning and degrading way, what do we expect from our young people? We're not going to expect anything different. When you have government ministers who have serious allegations over their head, and yet still we have no resolution. One incident or one case that jumps to mind is the Rovergate scandal involving Ernest Sile. What do you expect our young people to do? This government is not an example for any young person or any right-thinking citizen to follow. So, Tim, we are in serious trouble. I mean, there's no leadership in the country. We have a prime minister who's clueless. I mean, rather than tackling the pertinent or the important issues that confront us on a daily basis, such as inflation, which, by the way, is people grappling to survive. The cost of living is higher. It's harder right now. You have a situation with unemployment, 3,000 construction workers were sent home for just because of mere political mischief. single mothers are on the breadline because of the fact that they support a political party, which, by the way, is the constitutional right to do so. We have a situation where we have a basic commodity like sugar. There's a shortage of sugar in the country. I mean, so many issues. Our national security is in crisis. Tim, did the Prime Minister ever make mention of a succession plan for when what's his name, Milton Davey retires in December when his contract ends? Have you heard any succession plan, Tim?
No, I haven't.
So
no, I
how can
haven't.
a country, exactly. So how can a country run like this when there's no succession plan? When the police force itself as an organization does not know where it's going or coming?
Okay, caller. Thank you so much. Thank you. Let's move on. Another person says via WhatsApp, finally, his agenda is made clear. That's all this man ever wanted to do was use NewsSpin as his political platform. Using his daughter in his nonsense, he should be ashamed. Shaking my head. I hope you make him pay for that ad. Referring there to PW. We have another call, 452-2979, 452-2979. WhatsApp calls or messages, 716-2026. Good afternoon. You are on the air. Hello?
2 times journalist of the year. Good afternoon to you, sir.
Good afternoon to you, caller.
Good afternoon, Bernard Hill and Conway. Calgary, Canada, good afternoon. I'm not forgetting the last show, DD. Tim, question for you. When last you been to Barbados?
Good many years. Maybe 7-8 years ago.
Would you say Barbados is ahead of St. Lucia?
You have to say in what context, in what way. In terms
standard of living.
Standard of living, yes. Literacy, yes. Whatever you want to call development. What in terms of what?
Okay, Tim. Right now, Madam Mia Motley has a plan. Guess where? Bridgetown, Barbados. Tim, as far as I know, Bridgetown, there's over 100,000 people living there. And Tim, there's nowhere else for nothing to go in Barbados in Bridgetown. The only thing I can say, she's going to move out to villages, or she's going up in the air. I say that to say this. Barbados is saying to St. Lucia and the rest of the Caribbean, catch me if you can. She also has a development plan for the countryside and stuff. The Queen Elizabeth Hospital, right? The QEH. She's looking for somewhere to build a new hospital. The Granby Adams International Airport terminal, which she just renovated. She's going to build a new terminal. Tim, she just lowered gas prices. Barbados is saying to me, to us, St. Lucia, and the rest of the Caribbean, catch me if you can. They're going to be listen, Tim. Let me continue. It's alleged somebody was kicked, a worker was kicked on a farm in Canada. Any government minister, any government officer came out and said anything about that?
Well, I think yesterday the PS in the Ministry of Home Affairs spoke on this. The Labour
I'm not dealing with no press
spoke on this.
secretary. I'm not dealing with no press secretary.
No. The permanent, not press, permanent secretary.
I ain't dealing with no permanent secretary. I'm dealing with the minister that say you have a heavy cross to carry. I'm talking about Stevenson King. That's the man I'm talking about. Stevenson King. I'm talking about Richard Frederick. Have you built the condos, the so-called condos we call it start for the people? Have they started? You say they will start on the anniversary of the first year in office by the government. Because I don't understand. If people cannot afford to live in the CDCs, how are they going to afford to live in condos? I must be an idiot. Then the list goes on and on and on and on and on. All the SLP continues to do is to fool solutions because they all know solutions are stupid. Majority of solutions are stupid. Okay? They just listen. They're just doing.
How did you reach that conclusion, caller? How did you reach that conclusion? The majority of St. Lucians are stupid. How did you reach that conclusion?
Okay, let me give my answer. You are the country that was developing. You are the country that was developing. That was going towards the promised land. Led by the world's greatest leader, Sarah Michael Shasta.
Yeah, but you cannot think for the people. The people have a right to make their own determination, caller. You cannot think for them.
People have called me stupid. You think I get that? You think I say, well, okay, I can't think for them? No. I'm gonna ask you why you say I'm stupid. That's the question I'm gonna do. I'm gonna ask you why you say I'm stupid. Because when you say to me that was smart when they can go Shasta, and now you got a prime minister that's telling you go eat more green things. This is a prime minister that's telling you this is where real people live. This is a prime minister tell you I can't do nothing for you. Huh? But tell me that was smart. This is a prime minister tell you give you $1,500. This is a prime minister tell you, all those who pay $4,000 and under is tax free, and there's no roads on the sea. We cannot eat roads. Huh? A prime minister only make those kind of statements if they think that people are stupid. No literate country. A prime minister coming with those kind of things too. That's what I'm saying. And one more thing, Tim. I am calling for the rename of Urinora Airport to Castries to name after the great man, father, Sir Michael Shasta. Sir Michael Shasta. I call for Urinora Airport, that's the international airport. Tim, those guys are just a bunch of jokers, okay? Tim,
okay,
all
caller.
those guys continue to do. Tim,
just complete your sentence. You're saying?
Tim, let me tell it to you. Tim, you can look at it left, look at it right, cross-way, upward, downward. All SFP is doing is calling the St. Lucia people. The same thing over and over every day, and they get it through it. But
Okay.
I don't blame them.
All right.
I don't blame them. I don't blame the government.
Thank you.
I blame the people.
All right, have a great weekend. Thank you, sir. Somebody says, come down to Castries to do what? To me, this caller is trying to defend a bad decision. Creole is not an opportunity to modernize Junior Creole. They want to centralize Junior Creole and take away from the cultural rich communities like they did for Carnival, and where Denery was not given to host Carnival. City Junior Creole, yuck. All right, let's see there. Okay, we have another call. Let's take a call. Good afternoon, NewsSpin, you're on the air. Hello. Hello, good afternoon. All right, let's see if we have another WhatsApp message I could go through. Somebody says, Creole Day is by Dax, not Castries. Let's see if we have another one. Somebody says, the Prime Minister criticized Shas as usual during the town hall meeting in V4 a few weeks ago. He falsely stated as usual, it was Shas who single-handedly decided where the new airport terminal should be relocated. It then can also be said that hosting Junior Creole in Castries East may have been at the behest of this Prime Minister. Simply put, hosting Junior Creole in urban areas make little sense. We have a call. Good afternoon to you. This is NewsSpin. You are on the air.
Sorry, Tim, I got cut a while ago while we were having our discussion.
Okay, well, you have a minute, sir. Go ahead, please.
Okay, so I was saying,
because we were spinning, we were going in circles.
Isolation.
I'm saying to you, we are going in circles. We're not achieving anything. But you have a minute. Go ahead.
Yeah, we cannot look at this thing as isolation. You cannot just take it from the top, which is Parliament.
That's not what I was saying. That's not. Hold on, caller. Please, just hold on. Just hold on. That's not what I was saying to you. I was saying let's look at it holistically. Let's not look at it only from the home. We're looking at it from the home.
I was going everywhere.
The church, politicians, the priests.
Not giving me a chance.
Go ahead. Let me hear you. Because you're putting this emphasis on the family.
Okay. No, that's where that is laying the axe at the root of the tree. But as you leave the home, the children interface with different people. So you have, like you were saying, the church, the police. You have the teachers in the school. How do these teachers relate to the children when they've done something wrong? Do they relate to them with aggression? You understand me? So that's what I'm saying. We have to look at this thing holistically. The child who's coming from school, two grown-ups are having a confrontation on the streets of Castries. How do these people resolve these issues? What signals are they sending to these children? So we as a nation have to take the blame for what is happening in our schools and not just the politicians. As a matter of fact, we as a nation should take the blame for whatever politicians do because we are the ones who put them in office, right? So we now have a responsibility. Every one of us have a responsibility towards the children in these schools. Where do our children see our teachers? When the teachers are not in school, how do they relate on the street? What do they do on the street? How our children view them? So this thing does not start. It does not stop just at the school. It did not just start at the school. It has its roots, and I'm saying, fight it if we may. Most of these problems have their roots in the home. Some children know what their parents are going to tolerate, what the children are not going to tolerate. So some children will behave in accordance to what they know the parents can tolerate, and they test the waters. So that child you find maybe by SNS who just grab something and throw it down, and the mother will say, but that's the first time, she never have a habit of doing it. That's a lie. How do you relate to her at home? What is that child doing at home? How do you correct that child at home? So jointly as a nation, as leaders, as police officers, as teachers, as parents, we have a responsibility to bring our children in such a way that will help them be respectable people in society.
All right, sir. Thank you so much. Let me turn my attention now to our NewsSpin Facebook question of the day. Our NewsSpin Facebook question of the day, simple. The British pound hits 37-year low. Our NewsSpin news of the day, the British pound hits 37-year low. And all about politicians calling on members of the public, particularly their supporters, to be patient. Mr. Producer, do we have a call? Somebody holding on? No. All right, so let's hear from Mr. Alfred Prosper, the island's agriculture minister, who spoke at that meeting over in Soufrière, annual general meeting of the SLP's constituency group on Tuesday of this week.
But one thing I want to say to our supporters is I want you to be a little more patient. Because moi qui représente la constituency d'Henry South, et moi observe à dans ces supporters noirs, nous pas assez patience. And that alone signals that we are not together as a party.
So be patient, hold on, things are going to get better. We have a call. Good afternoon, NewsSpin. You are on the air.
Good afternoon, Tim.
Good afternoon, ma'am.
Yes, I'm going to use your platform to address something that has been happening to me, and I'm sure a lot of the people who visit Massey City store. I'm sure it's about a year that store has been ongoing, has started, and we're having a problem getting access in the back of the store to park into the front. There's a big swimming pool when it rains, like this morning, and everything is terrible there. It's very difficult to drive there. I'm calling on Mr. Martin Dorville to take a ride at the back there. My car is low. I cannot access that back and side of the store to park in the front. This is one of my favorite stores, and I'm very disappointed that after 1 year, that store has not seen it good enough or good enough for their patrons to fix that area. It has to be done. After a year, I've been complaining to the supervisors. They said it will be done, it will be done, it will be done. But I said I have to call so that Mr. Dorville will hear my voice. If other people want to call, and they should have called already, I should have called before. It is time. This morning was one point, a time when I had a terrible, terrible situation where under my car got knocked and I was in that swimming pool. I had to reverse out of the place. It is terrible and it has to be addressed. Thank you.
You're welcome, ma'am. Thank you so much. A quick WhatsApp call as we say hello and good afternoon to you. This is NewsSpin. You are on the air. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon, Tim. How are you?
I'm okay, ma'am. Good afternoon. Quick contribution. Time is against us.
Okay. Yes. I just want to highlight a few things. I think for those intellectual people, the so-called people that contribute handouts or not achievements, and you're going to give out toilet paper today, and in 2 days these people are going to go back to using banana leaves as toilet paper instead of teaching them how to earn to sustain themselves financially. So handouts are not achievements for the locals. They need jobs. They need ways to continue having income to sustain themselves. Thank you, Tim.
All right, ma'am. Thank you so much for calling from the diaspora. This is NewsSpin, another caller line. Good afternoon to you. You are on the air. Quick contribution. Okay, we've lost that caller. All right, let's see what's happening in the chat room in terms of your comments there. Lots of discussions, but let me see. Okay. Somebody says, what year will things get better? VT. Well, exercise some patience. All right, somebody says that, Tim, I agree with the young lady 100%. The other villages and towns are not fit. That's nonsense. The person has to take it back. All right, another contribution. Somebody says there, Tim, the call is correct. Politicians, pastors, priests, etc. all come from homes. The home is the foundation and fabric of society. Society is made up of an amalgamation, is different behaviors, different personalities, different beliefs, and different ways of handling conflicts. All of these stem from the home. The way a politician behaves in parliament is a reflection of who he is, which does not change when he gets home. Another one says, Tim, high tide on Castries Harbor and the water is actually washing onto the road. Here's hoping that you are driving carefully as you traverse that road. All right, let's see if we have another WhatsApp message. Tell them compare and contrast gas prices, referring there to a contribution that was made by an earlier caller. Good afternoon. NewsSpin, quick contribution. You are on the air. Hello? Okay, let's see there. Somebody says, Tim, like you said, us adults need to lead by example. Part of the issue today is children don't fear their parents. Growing up, getting caned, detention, or suspended was the least of our concerns. The concern was always getting back to our parents of what we did or what involved in. The issues begin at home. Children only do what they are allowed to do or take example from. All right. So somebody tried to put in a defense yesterday. Let us listen. That's, of course, the press secretary to the Prime Minister, Mondi Lewis, following that statement that he made over in Soufrière during the AGM of the constituency group.
But why the heightism? Why the name calling? Why make reference to people's height? This is derogatory and it is unacceptable. And it will only happen. No, hold on, Miss Lewis. Hold on, Miss Lewis.
I don't think I take offense to it. It's how they choose to term me, and I think for every one of us, we accept whether it's accept what you call you. It's what you answer to.
But
I don't think that is a derogatory. Seeing somebody short is not derogatory. People call me tall and big and ugly and big forehead girl. Like my forehead is big. I am tall.
Yeah, but that is a form of bullying and it's unacceptable. It is unacceptable. I'm just saying to you.
That's to say that my forehead is big and it is indeed big.
It is unacceptable to label people that in that way. Heightism is unacceptable, and which I think we should be teaching our children. Do not make such references to people in such derogatory terms, because if the Prime Minister is doing and they believe it's okay, and the press secretary to the Prime Minister believes it's okay, what about the children? What about the children at the schools and elsewhere?
Is being derogatory by using an adjective?
Is
how I am tall is derogatory?
So let backing dogs lie is derogatory? I'm just saying to you, ma'am, there's certain things that are acceptable and unacceptable, particularly in the context.
Descriptive word to say that Mondi is that tall girl, that is derogatory?
Is the context, ma'am? Is it what light? If you're being vitriolic.
Just so there from the press secretary to the Prime Minister during my interview with her yesterday on NewsSpin. Finally, that's a fact. That is a fact.
And that's a fact. And that's a fact.
Which orange came first, the fruit or the color? Orange, the fruit, came before orange, the color. Orange originated from the Sanskrit word niranga, meaning orange tree. Only later in the 16th century did it become a color name. And that is a fact.
And that's a fact. And that's a fact.
That's the broadcast for today and for this week. Thank you so much for watching on our NewsSpin Facebook page as well as on YouTube, NewsSpin SLU, and listening on TuneIn as well as on Power 97.9 FM. Coming up next, we have the Power Drive. My name is Timothy Poleon. Have yourself a safe and enjoyable weekend. Goodbye.